Hey guys, this is Anarchist coming to you from the dark side of the moon on and after hours on the Wham Radio Network. Alright guys, I found a couple of articles today I thought were very interesting. The first one goes over Biden's appointee, the new treasurer, Janet Yellen. I like to call her Janet Yellowbelly because all they are is pigs. At the end of the day, she's nothing but a Goldman Sachs speaking head, pro big banks, pro big debt for the American people. And this is why I want to come and explain why a lot of these things that we think is normal and quote unquote leads to freedom are actually the very things that lead to our enslavement. So I'm going to bring you guys over to the website. This first article I found here. This is on MSN, The Hill. All right, so the article reads, Secretary Yellen's first action on Bitcoin will set the tone for the next 4 years. So the article reads, if there is one thing that criminals crave, it's anonymity. The ability to cloak their illicit activities behind layers of privacy or to blend in with everyone else gives bad actors an edge in every arena. Terrorists, in particular, use layers of anonymity and inconspicuousness to finance their activities, allowing them to grow their ranks, form plans, and carry out attacks. Traditional finance is unable to slow the growing terror threat. Only cryptocurrency can stop it in its tracks. So here they open up the article about criminals wanting to be anonymous, okay? This is doublespeak for an attack on privacy. And you can see right here on the second sentence, a direct attack, is the ability to cloak their illicit activities behind layers of privacy. Okay. Privacy is actually a good thing to have. To be a private individual means that you are aware of yourself. You're private in the sense of your persons, your papers, your personal owned objects on yourself, like your clothes, if you happen to have a personal protection device. Like, you're a free individual who works under private means. That's all that really means. Like, to be a private individual doesn't automatically make you a criminal. It just means that you're not going to be tracked. You're not going to be traced. And this is even for the people who are going to go out there and argue and say, well, I don't have nothing to hide. Okay, that's great that you have nothing to hide. But at the same time, is it anybody's business to know anything about you that you don't give out freely? So that's what privacy really means. Okay, but here, this is an open attack on the privacy to use currency or actually money. So Miss Yellowbelly here, here's a nice picture of her. You know, she don't seem too happy. She's like, I worked for the Fed, and I was a chairman at the Fed Reserve under the Obama era, and I'm not happy about cryptocurrency because that is a direct challenge towards the monopoly that my Fed Reserve has over the American currency and all the world currencies. Cryptocurrency means that they'll be able to own their own money privately and determine their own value. That's the look that she's making right now. She don't look too happy. So right now, her excuse, not going to say reason, because remember that anything done in the name of the common good will always bring the most terrible of evils upon us. You know, that's usually what happens. She's going to use the common good of, oh my God, criminals and privacy and illicit and sales. And, you know, we don't get our cut out of it via taxation. That's what she's going to claim. So, currencies are based around blockchain technology are currencies that have an open public ledger, an accessible running list of every transaction that has ever been made. For example, anyone can search the Bitcoin blockchain to see which wallets sent currency to which wallets, how much that transaction was for, and when it occurred. Bitcoin wallets that are known to belong to terrorist organizations, probably like the United States government, terror financiers like the banks, and other nefarious parties like political parties can be flagged, monitored, and blocked from making and receiving transactions. Cryptocurrencies offer the only way to truly assess and intervene when it comes to money laundering, terror financing, human trafficking, and so much more. So obviously they're trying to use fear mongering and people's what is the word I'm looking for? They're using the people's ignorance of cryptocurrency to scare them into not using it. Okay? The idea that cryptocurrencies present increased risk is a misnomer. Fiat currencies have been traditional means to finance crime, and cryptocurrencies have always presented more risk to criminals who would prefer to remain anonymous. The vast majority of crime has been financed by fiat money, both digitally and in the form of cash, because fiat money offers an opportunity for anonymity and inconspicuousness. So obviously the government is trying to say our money is the best money to perform crime. Okay? Because you could be anonymous and inconspicuous. So giant suitcases full of money are okay, guys. If you ever need to go pay off your politician, giant suitcases full of money is the best way to go. At least from what the government and mainstream media is saying right now. So do not pay. So, okay, let me backtrack a little. McDonald's and Burger King and giant big name corporations, do not pay your Antifa organizations and your terrorist organizations in cryptocurrency. You must pay them with giant suitcases full of money, preferably fiat, the most dishonest money system in the world right now. That is how your ragtag team of SS officers could go out there and, cause violence and crime and all sorts of things. Whatever you want them to do, just don't pay them in crypto. Because the government says that is the best way to pay your terrorists. Okay, so the recent guidelines proposed by the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network further sharpen the tools that cryptocurrency offers, requiring every cryptocurrency wallet to be tied to a verified identity. While this would be helpful for tracking cryptocurrency transactions, it's not required. Whether or not a cryptocurrency wallet is tied to a publicly verified identity. Ooh, that's their favorite word too. Publicly. The public versus the private. And there's a lot of things to dig. I might have to make a whole other episode of the public versus the private and why it's very much in your best interest to stay as a private individual and not a public individual. So we're pro the general private and not of the general public. And we'll make a whole episode on that, maybe on a Wham Radio episode. Okay, so they then go on to say that, investigators can still swiftly and easily determine who controls a cryptocurrency wallet by simply monitoring its use. So obviously they figure out people got buying patterns and stuff. Referred to as a blockchain transaction analysis. So pattern recognition, I'm assuming. Unregulated, the cryptocurrency industry has thus far been self-policing, with many cryptocurrency companies moving to block wallets that are known to belong to criminals, scammers, hackers, terrorists, and more. Even though it says that they don't know who owns any of these wallets, but they know for sure that there are criminals, scammers, hackers, and terrorists, and more, even though the criminals that we have that own the banks have all the money. The scammers are the politicians convincing the people to give money to the banks The hackers are the FBI and the CIA social engineering everybody to be scared. And the terrorists is anybody not wearing a mask. Okay, we'll move on. Incoming Treasury Secretary Janet Yellowbelly has revealed some reservations about cryptocurrency, especially as it could relate to crime and terrorism. Yellen's concern is genuine and should be taken seriously. Fortunately, I know that Yellen is an astute and educated person, highly capable and fully qualified for such a time as this. If there is anybody who can navigate these waters and see the potential that cryptocurrency can offer to the United States government, it would be Secretary Yellen. So obviously, whoever wrote this article is blowing a lot of hot air up Janet Yellowbelly's butthole right now. They really like the smell of her butthole right now. So here they're trying to say basically that that Yellowbelly should examine the advantages that cryptocurrency can offer when it comes to crime reduction, terror prevention, elimination of counterfeit money, and the creation of a safer environment for small businesses in a post-pandemic world. So that's a lot of hope that this article, this person who wrote this article, is putting into this old, white, decrepit, not so happy. Maybe he probably doesn't even know what a cryptocurrency is. And even if she does become aware of it, I'm pretty sure when she heard of the word crypto, she probably thought the crypt keeper, where she belongs. Anyway, moving on. I thought this article was kind of funny. And I just thought I'd have to bring up this article because it's the most first world problem anyone can ever think of. Okay, this is the most first world problem anyone could ever think of. The Bidens were reportedly left waiting outside the White House door on Inauguration Day because ex-President Trump sent the staff home. So basically, on the new POTUS show, okay, because, Biden's really not the president, guys. Neither was Trump. Nobody's really the president. Everybody knows that Jerome Powell is the real president of the United States of America, okay? But on the POTUS show, this is season 2, just to let you know, okay? So season 1 was hosted by Donald J. Trump playing the president, okay? Season 2 is POTUS. Season 2, The Return of the Empire. So on the first day of the show, the most funniest comedic thing could ever happen on the reality TV show. Joe and Jill Biden got stuck outside because no one was there to open the door to let them in. Because apparently season 1 didn't finish all the way through. I guess the staff didn't get their orders properly, and maybe even the ex-president did send them home. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, when the king and queen are standing outside and there's nobody to open the doors, heads are gonna be rolling, guys. Heads are gonna be rolling. So let's look into this article. Joe and Jill Biden may have been waiting to enter the White House for longer than necessary on Inauguration Day because there was a lack of staff there to greet him. In a break from the White House protocol, the new president and first lady were left standing in the front of closed doors. Oh my Lord, the doors were closed. How insulting, how un-American, how unpatriotic. Those doors should have been open. They should have been taken off the hinges. I hope that from this day forth, Joe Biden takes the White House doors right off the hinges and the doors will be open all day. That should be his new order. In a break It says, yeah, they were there on site of their new resident for the first time on Wednesday. Okay. The Trumps sent the Butlers home when they left, so there would be no one to help the Bidens when they arrived. Because obviously, touching the door requires another person to do it. Because if you wouldn't open a door yourself, why would you get somebody else to open the door for you? I'm silly. I don't understand these things because, you know, in my reality where I live, I have to touch the doors, like, everywhere I go. Unless they're automatic doors, like at the grocery store where they just open up because I stepped on the plate or got in front of the motion sensor. Those doors are not moving. They usually require turning of a knob and pushing the door open. Okay? But God bless Joe Biden and Jill for standing outside that door for an unnecessary amount of time. All right, guys, we're going to take a break, and I'll get back to you guys after this commercial.
Marlboro Man here, reminding you that JC's Resale Shop in Berwyn has all your home goods under one roof. Everything you need at the best possible value. Your dollar will go farther than it's ever gone before. Come on down and grab some furniture, books, electronics, kitchenware, and much, much more. You can even get a brand new outfit complete with shoes and accessories for under $10. Can you believe that? Check out JC's Resale Shop, located at 6615 Cermak Road in beautiful downtown Berwyn, Illinois, on Cermak Road and East Avenue. Or call 708-689-7172, or check out our Facebook page in the description below. Remember, folks, if you can't find it anywhere else, then you can always find it at JC's.
Okay, guys, now we're back to the show. So yeah, this was really the worst first world problem in the world, was just being left in your own doorstep. So how bad can it really be? You know? So yeah, see, look at that. The door was not open. It's sad that Larry King died today because, this would have been a great, interview for him. Did the butler make sure to turn the knob? Did the butler get his schedule on time? That would have been some great Larry King questions to ask. Moving along to the next article. I thought this one was actually kind of hilarious. Biden tells appointees, I will fire you on the spot for showing disrespect to colleagues. So now we don't have to just, be our own pillars of being respectful and being the change that you want to see in the world. No, we'll just enforce you being nice to people. This is terrible, guys, because I'm gonna read the video transcript and then I'm gonna read what he actually says, because you have to remember, guys, they're all politicians. They're all trained in using euphemisms and wording things in certain ways to make sure that nobody is alarmed, nobody thinks that anything conspicuous is going on. This is all just to make everybody get lulled right back in and say, okay, everything's fine. The real adults are here, and I can just check myself out of my head and leave everything up to the real adults. All right. So this is the video transcript, and I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to reread it again and what he really says. So President Biden goes, but I'm not joking when I say this. If you are ever working with me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect, talk down to someone, I promise you, I will fire you on the spot. On the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody is entitled to be treated with decency and dignity. That's been missing in a big way in the last 4 years. Kathy's gone through all your backgrounds, talked to me about you. I'm confident you have the capacity to do it. We are going to be judged. We are going to be judged whether or not we restored the integrity and competency of this government, and I need your help badly. Last thing I'll say, I'm going to make mistakes. And when I make them, I'll acknowledge them and I'll tell you, and I'll need your help to help me correct them. We're not going to walk away. We're going to take responsibility. That's what we do. That's what you do. That's what so many of you have done throughout your career, and I expect you to do it again. I'm so happy. Happy we are starting. Happy to join all of you. And there's almost 1,000 of you on this call and your families. So thank you. Thank you very much. Here's what Biden really says. But I'm joking when I say this. If you are ever working for me and I hear you treat another colleague with respect, talk up to someone, I promise I will fire you on the spot. On the spot. No ifs, ands, or buts. Everybody is not entitled to be treated with decency and dignity. That's been missing in that's been missing in the best way in the last 4 years. Kathy's gone through all your backgrounds, talked to me about you, and I'm confident you don't have the capacity to do it. You're going to be judged. You are going to be judged whether or not we restored the integrity and competency of this government. I don't need your help. Last thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to make mistakes. I'm not really going to make mistakes. And if I do make them, I won't even acknowledge them. And I won't tell you. And I don't need your help to help me correct them. We are going to walk away. We are not going to take responsibility because that's what we do. That's what I do. And that's what so many of you have done throughout your career, and I expect you to do it again. I'm so happy we are starting. Happy to join all of you. And there's almost 1,000 of you on this call and your families, so thank you. Thank you very much. So, doublespeak is an amazing language to learn. So I am looking forward to the incompetency of nothing happening. I am looking forward to you voters thinking that you can, you haven't learned your lesson with this last, jackass. It doesn't matter. They all are. All right. So they're all going to keep doing this, and y'all going to keep playing the game with them and try to force people who don't want to play the game. Well, you want to force people who don't want to play the game using the threat of the state to force us to play the game. But that's okay, because we want you guys to still have your freedom. We want you guys to still have your life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, because we don't want to take your freedom away from you. So kudos to Biden telling people to be nice to each other. And speaking of being nice, Facebook was so kind to me today by letting me know that they fact-checked one of my posts. I thought this one was kind of funny because it was, I'm assuming, okay, because everybody knows Spike Cohen, or Jeremy Cohen, the guy who ran for the 2020 Libertarian Party vice president. So he was Joe Jorgensen's VP. All right, he made a joke. I'm assuming it was a joke. It's sarcasm, okay? Saying that, hey, now that the Biden administration claims that libertarians and conservatives and all that are terrorists, maybe the CIA will start giving us a whole bunch of suitcases full of fiat currency and guns, which would be great because, and I take my payment via Venmo and PayPal. So send my terrorist money to me, okay, guys? But they fact-checked me, and they said that, no, Biden administration didn't label us as terrorists. But, thank you so much, Biden, for being nice to me and telling your appointees to be nice to each other. And over here, you guys got stuck outside for a couple of minutes. The door wasn't open, guys. There was nobody there to open the door. All right, guys. I think I'm getting around to the end of the show. Like and share and comment. Give me your thoughts on all the stuff that I just brought up here, because I think that a lot of things that are going on are actually kind of hilarious. If you look at it from a voluntarist perspective, guys, you'll see why it's a dog and pony show to all of us. Why we laugh at the voters, why we seem so out of touch with the political delusion that's going on. It has nothing to do with hate, you know. I do believe to a degree that the government should be allowed to exist, but it should only be allowed to exist voluntarily. But until that can happen, without the use of violence or a monopoly on violence and the monopoly on the labors of the people who live under the jurisdiction of any government, really. I feel that those people should really have choice and freedom and individuality and not have to succumb themselves to a gigantic government organization that claims to have a higher authority over them. So that's just my perspective, guys. I want to get your guys' opinion. So leave everything down below. I'll leave links to everything. And I guess I'll see you guys all in the next show.